top free museums in Washington, D.C. Start off with the Air and Space Museum, Smithsonian. Always check out the web pages first before going. That has a lot of information there. This one, I think they had timed entry. There's also another Udvar Hazy Center in Virginia, which also has some exhibits. You don't need a pass for that, but you do need a pass for the Space and Museum visit. This is what's on. Events, have all sorts of events going on. Free timed entries, yes. They're required for the one in DC. I knew I had seen that. And passes are not required at the Udvar Hazy in Virginia. All sorts of things. All right. There is the National Air Museum. A little bit about the space program. All sorts of airlines. There's even a shuttle that they have. Just amazing, amazing. Now, the next one on the free museums in DC is the Natural Museum of Natural History. All sorts of exhibits in here. They even have an exhibit on cell phone exhibits. See what's inside of your cell phone and how they're made. This exhibit here, I'm pretty sure the one about lights out, recovering the night sky, is about the problem with light pollution and the observatories that are near cities. And then we have cell phone, and then we also have fossils deep time. Butterfly Pavilion. Today's events, they have all sorts of events. All of these museums are just amazing. Then let's get on to the next one in the National Museum of American History. Also a Smithsonian Institute. Flora history, African American history, Asian Pacific American history. I think there's actually a museum on Asian art that I'm going to be showing you in a little bit. Infectious disease history, Latino history, LGBTQ history, women's history, and see all topics. You can visit the sites and find out about the museums before you go, which is a great thing. Also, stay tuned because I have some really interesting stuff at the end here too. Holocaust Museum, that's a great place to go. Bring some Kleenex with you because it's not going to be, it's an educational experience. It's very emotional, is what I'm saying. I went to some of the Japanese internment camps that we actually had in the United States, and it wasn't even for Japanese, it was American citizens. But because they were of Japanese descent, they were put in internment camps in the United States. We tried to hush that a little bit. But let's get on to National Gallery of Art. This has amazing, all sorts of art and things going on. They have a shop. They have Stay Connected. Films. They had, this is 16 millimeter, summer of 16 millimeter films. They're celebrating 16 millimeters. So like say on Saturday, July 15th at 2 to 1:30 p.m. Why would they say 2 to 1:30 p.m.? I don't know, but they do. It would be the other way around. Doesn't make sense to me. And lots of fun. They have all sorts of films to go see. Next museum, this is the National Gallery of Art Museum. Homepage for the National Museum of Asian Art. This is the one that I was saying that I thought that I was going to bring you to. Exploring arts and culture. Just amazing. And the thing I love about each website has a little bit different way that they are navigated. Audio, interactives, video, there's a lot to be seen on all of these websites, as well as the museums themselves. United States Botanical Garden. We could go there and we can learn more about the Children's Garden. That's now open. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, kids can go out and water the plants. Put them to work. Then we have the Smithsonian. This is something that did not come up on my search, but seeing as there were 4 museums that I've already shown you that were all Smithsonian museums, I figured that it might be nice to just go to the Smithsonian and get the information straight from the horse's mouth. Now, the Smithsonian itself has this all outlined, and now we're into the accessibility here. This is a map of accessing all of the museums. Here's the American History Museum, the Natural History Museum, and this is all on the National Mall, which is right here, and Freer Gallery, Arts and Industry Building, Air and Space Museum is right over here. I didn't go to the American Indian Museum webpage, but I'm sure that that's an interesting museum too. And these are all within walking distance of each other, and you can get there with mass transit. Here is a larger scale map, Smithsonian Museums in Washington, D.C. Now, you have metro, rail, and bus. Highly suggest using the metro and the rail and bus instead of trying to drive around New York City. It's about the same though. Washington, D.C. Instead of driving around there, why not just go from your hotel, find out where the local bus stop is, and ride the bus over. That's an experience in itself. And then we have the mall bicycle rack PDF. I guess you can rent bicycles, Capital Bike Share, information about that, and ParkWiz book parking. You can, I guess, schedule a parking space so that you can purchase it in advance and make sure that it's available when you get there. And here's the White House over here. And when you go to these museums, make sure not to bring a whole bunch of extra baggage. There's no hat racks, no coat racks, no storage of any kind. Whatever you bring, you're going to have to tote with you. And for people with disabilities, for individuals with mobility disabilities, let's see what the thing is here. It shows where they're accessible. There's also maps available for additional information on where the handicap accessibility is. Individuals who are blind and have low vision, there's description here, sighted tour guides, service dogs. Specifically, they state this very clearly. Service dogs that have been trained to provide an individual work task for a person with a disability are welcome at the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian follows the U.S. Department of Justice ADA requirements for service dogs. Visitors are not allowed to bring emotional support animals. Those are all of the museums that came up on my search. There are a ton more. You can go see the memorials, and I love you all. Bye-bye.